What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and this is my first episode of
The bottom line.
Breakdown. And I'm mainly making this video because of a request from IG from a man Teflon. Now, of course, we're gonna get into discussions and debates, but I've been following Pacquiao for a while now, and I can easily bring up some pros and cons for this man. This video is mainly about Pacquiao and nothing but Pacquiao's greats, which is his pros and his cons. And the main thing I want to get into is to let you guys know is that he has made drastic changes in his fighting techniques. When he was in the Philippines fighting from the age of 16 and even younger, before he made it to the pros, he fought like a dog, basically. And I just want to let you guys know that in case you don't know, just trying to educate you a little bit. He fought like a dog. The man fought to get paid way more on a level where it was strictly like a chicken fight or a dog fight. This young man was brought up in the Philippines and he was just trying to make ends meet for his family. I'm not trying to get you guys to shed a tear for this kid, but that is how he learned how to fight. It wasn't that much technique. He learned mostly off of endurance and learned how to be the bigger fighter, the bigger dog with the bigger bite in the fight. That is from the culture of Muay Thai and from that side of the world, where if you want to win, you basically need heart and determination. Now, jumping into his pros and cons, I would have to say that Pacquiao is definitely elite when it comes to these three things. When it comes to his pros, it is speed, power, and footwork. He is very relentless when it comes to his speed. He wants to show you that he can be faster than you on a super elite level where you can't even catch up, and he loves to do that in every fight. Ever since the Eric Morales fights, he always liked to show and prove to the fans, to entertain the world, that he has fast hands. And that is his number one priority when he's fighting, is that he's faster than you, that he can outsmart you, outwork you, and outthink you with speed. Because it's hard to catch up when one is faster than the other. Number two is his power. He has power, but he also uses it differently than someone that is bigger. So if you're a middleweight or a heavyweight, then it's difficult to say that you have power, because that is different. It's more like a brute power or centered power. But Pacquiao is shooting from the hip, basically, and he's waiting for you to make a mistake, and that is how he uses his power. When you decide to shoot a punch at him, a punch that you might think is accurate, he'll hit you with one even harder. He's just waiting for you to shoot at the body or shoot at his face or counter his punch, and he wants to hit you 2 times harder than you can counter him. Because Pacquiao fights at a certain pace that is could be unbearable at times for some opponents, and at times, if you're not ready for that kind of onslaught, it can make you get really defensive, and at times you might have to time your punches a little bit better. For someone like Floyd Mayweather, that would be perfect, because he would want to wait. The thing is, what is he gonna do in between times to get away from the onslaught? But I'll be making another video displaying and showing that. The third one is footwork. Manny Pacquiao's footwork is definitely hard to compare to others. Most fighters, they're either one-dimensional, or they're flat-footed, or they're always on their toes and they use their speed a lot. But it's hard to be speedy and powerful at the same time. I put Pacquiao in a group here because I wanted to try to get people to understand what kind of person Pacquiao is when it comes to his mentality in the ring. And it seems like to me that Pacquiao is on the verge of being a part of the Suicide Crew. There's two guys that I would put in the Suicide Crew, and that is Marvin Hagler and Mike Tyson. You could also put Muhammad Ali there, but Muhammad Ali was very elusive, and he would move a lot, and he talked trash, and he would say a lot of things before the fight. So those are more elusive and wizardry type of games. Manny doesn't talk as much when it comes to pre-fights and before the fight and stuff like that, and he is always looking to knock you out. So I would put him more in the Suicide Crew with Marvin Hagler and Mike Tyson, because those guys stay in the pocket, stay in the fire, stay right there in the range of being hit at all times. Any second, at any moment, they could get hit, and as soon as that bell rings, that's how that man operates. So I have to put him there with the Suicide Crew, because I need you guys to understand that Pacquiao is not one to no one's gonna bring the fight to Pacquiao. Basically, he's gonna bring the fight to you. That's his pace, that's how he works, and that's why I put him in the Suicide Crew, because he comes forward. Now let's go to the cons. These are overall pros and cons here, okay? I'm not getting too involved into the specifics and the details. The cons of his would be he doesn't block much. You know, he's a shorter fighter. So I would take this comparison from Ivan Camacho from my Facebook. Shout out to Ivan on my ADM boxing group. He doesn't block much, but the fact that he's a shorter fighter, it makes it a little bit difficult for him to be able to catch some punches and give back. So he has to take a few punches. There's going to be some that he's not going to want to catch or eat. But in order for him to go through your defense, or to basically understand how you operate, he has to take a few punches in order to figure you out. So that is kind of a con to me, because, you know, it's not good to take so much punishment, but you know, that's how he operates, and I still find it to be a con. It's a flaw. His leg cramps, you know, he sometimes has leg cramps in the middle of his matches. It's not good to get rub downs while you're fighting, because that's something you get after the fight when you're already done working out. But if you're getting rubbed down on your leg because of leg cramps in the middle of a match, then that means that you're either overworking, you're putting too much pressure on your legs, and that could decide the fight easily. You know, he could slow down, and then just off of changing up his pace, you know, the fighter could notice what's going on, and he's like, oh, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to hit this guy in the ribs, or hit this guy in the chest, or on his chin, or whatever, and test them out for a few. So that could easily push Pacquiao away from making some gains in the fight. So leg cramps are definitely an issue. It says here on my list, cons, he sometimes doesn't conserve his energy much. So, you know, Pacquiao's like constantly bouncing up and down. which is awesome. You know, it's hard to fight against a guy like that, but you know, if the other guy has just as much endurance, what is he gonna do for the whole fight? Is he gonna bounce up and down the whole fight? I mean, yeah, that seems impossible, but Pacquiao sometimes does it, and you know, if he doesn't conserve his energy much, it can get heavy, man. It can get heavy, and we don't know what's he gonna be facing when it comes to Floyd Mayweather or the next opponents when it comes to the future. You know, who knows what will happen after this fight, or if he loses, he takes on an opponent that has another title in the welterweight division, or even at 140. Pacquiao's still number 3 pound for pound, so people will want to fight him. And it's good to know what he can and cannot do. And one of the things he can't do is conserve a lot of energy, but he does have endurance to back it up. The problem is how long will he be like that? Because you know, you can't go rounds and rounds and rounds expecting a knockout. You know, it's just not natural for a boxer. You have to be somewhat patient, and in many ways Pacquiao it's just a flaw of his that I am trying to introduce to you guys. So now, going on to the boxing technique. The boxing technique of his is elite as well. The pros and cons, I'm trying to stay here. Beginning with the pros are his great combination that leads to dominating the fight. Pacquiao loves to throw punches, even if they don't connect, even if they just hitting your elbow, even if they're hitting your shoulder, your chest, your ribs, your stomach, your throat, your arm, your legs, your hips, your ears, your eyes, your face, your nose. It doesn't matter. He is trying to open up the defense so he can see it a little bit better. And he will throw every type of punch, whether it's an uppercut, straight left jab to the face, angles galore. He will throw all kinds of punches so he can get the right look on your face. He is constantly looking for assurance. He wants to know. He wants to know if you're better than him. That's why sometimes when you see Pacquiao fight, he'll clap his hands together, his boxing gloves together, because he wants to know. He's dying to know who's better than him, and he's just constantly throwing combinations. And number 2, he's always moving. He's constantly moving from side to side. He'll sometimes fill you out that way, which is kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's his way of trying to figure you out. And he'll step back every now and then too. Step back and then give you a few chances to capitalize on him. He'll sometimes lean back on the ropes and let you try to punish his ribs. I mean, this man is constantly in the gym, constantly working out and working on his abdominal so he can be tested. And he knows what is out there. He watches and he's a fan. So he's constantly always moving, and he's ready for any type of engagement. And really, the crazy thing about Pacquiao is that he fights all kinds of fighters, tall, skinny, guys that are punching bags somewhat and are willing to get punched and give him a great right hand or left hand. So his speed and power always works against others in a very intimidating way. Like, this man is always pushing people back. So that's what I mean by always moving. And the third one I would have to say is using his right hand as a decoy, but his right hand is highly effective. So he likes to throw the right hand, right hook to your jaw, right hook to your eye slot right there, socket, the little socket. He likes to throw it right there so he can angle off, and he can do so much with that right hook, because once he throws it at it's like he's making a C when he throws that right hook. He throws it at you almost like he's fishing. He's fishing his rod at you, and he's waiting for you to try to counter back. And as soon as you try to counter back, he opens you up even more. And he can go to the body, the ribs, the chest, the throat, the head. This man is definitely elite. He knows what he's doing, but that right hand is always a decoy. He can sometimes even throw it in a karate stance, or like he throws it like he's flicking his wrist towards you just to see what you'll do, and then he'll open you up. Open you up. He's testing you constantly throughout the fight. Cons, again, on the boxing technique, he sometimes looks for KOs too much. So, he's trying to intimidate you throughout the fight. And, great opponents know that. They know that he's looking for a knockout. They know that he's looking for a knockdown. At the least, he's looking for a knockdown or some way to make points. He's not the type of person that's going to try to make points and just take a few minutes off and then hug you and do all this kind of crap and move around. Nah, he's not like that. He's pretty old school and he's straight to the point. So he's going to try to outwork you every round. And that's pretty difficult to deal with. But if you know that he's constantly trying to break you up, then you still have a shot. Because if you can catch him, if you can keep up with him on their endurance level, that's perfect. All you got to do is wait for the right shot. It doesn't have to be a perfect shot, but it can be something that can change the whole playing field, so like that the fight can go your way and you can get him on your pace. On the training side, he does overtrain a bit. There used to be reports of Pacquiao overtraining, practicing for 15 to 14 hours a day and constantly running, jogging, and working out. He never wanted to be beaten. He never wanted to be dominated. So he's always overtraining. No matter what, he's overtraining. Pacquiao is a beast. But it can work against him. Again, like I said before, with all the cons that I'm stating, they can work against him because of the fact that he overtrains. Period. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then again, the third one is not much body shots. He's constantly looking for your head. He's head hunting the whole night. Because that is what's gonna give him points. Sometimes to the body, it's not effective. So he won't use that. Pacquiao's the type of guy that's definitely going for your head, definitely trying to change your attitude. He wants to see a little wrinkle in your eye, something that could give him something that he could see that is working for him. He'll throw a 5 or 6, 7, 8 hit combination, and then 2 of them will go to the body. But he'll never have a whole duration in the fight where he's going strictly for the body. And that's my breakdown for Manny Pacquiao. I hope you guys can subscribe, like, comment, or share for this channel that I'm trying to promote here. It's definitely Rex Righteous up here doing his thing. Showing you a different side. I'm gonna try to break down more fighters and more maybe wrestlers, basketball players, baseball players, whatever I can come up with. But if you guys have a player or athlete that you need me to break down, I can do my best and come up with 6 pros and cons for these guys. I will definitely do my best to do that for you, and I will study them to the T. So here we go with another breakdown. This is the first episode of Bottom Line Breakdown. Check me out, man. It's your boy Rex Righteous. IG is RafLegend193. Check me out. Everything you need to know is in the description. Feel free to hit me up, guys. It's your boy Rex Righteous again.